And he was like, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and render unto God what is God's. What is God's is real value. What is Caesar's is a lie. Give it back. We didn't hear that. We blindly followed the pastors in the way that they told us that Jesus meant that. Forget about, him building and braiding cords into a whip. I mean, people want to say that I'm violent. Hell, I haven't even gone into a bank yet. Wait till I do. And then you might be able to say that I was turning over some tables. But I haven't done that yet.
Which bank are you talking about? 17th and JFK? Chase, Penn Center 8 in Philadelphia? It's just a question. It's probably a different bank, I'm sure.
The full faith and credit of the people of the United States of America, this country, through its economic system, through its dollar, through all of that, just helping you understand who we are in this scenario, have enslaved everyone, every country, because of their appetites too. So we displayed our culture, begged everybody to be a part of it, and told them that they were stupid and ugly and dumb and not with the cool people unless you act like Americans, unless you act like these stars, unless you act like these TV people, unless you do things like them and act like them. Well, we've lured the world into this. We've done this. So the full faith in...
We done this. We know.
Credit, the backing of the people, they will come because we've done that. We've allowed it.
If anybody can't understand that this whole entire system is based on faith, everybody is getting... This is the hour of testing. Like literally, everybody's getting tested with the virus, and it's the hour of testing. And the currency, it's just made up. It's just made... it's Kleck's artwork. That's what the damn currency is. It's pieces of artwork that Kleck drew. So that's what's filling people's bank accounts now. $19,000 just to sign away and say, yep, Corona. 39 for something to ventilate. Everybody's accepting this money to do these dirty deeds because this is the time of the... It's not just one Judas. It's the spirit of Judas is turning against anybody with the spirit of Christ. And they're being... Well, they have these situations that occur, and they're being lured in with the green paper.
Are the system of support. When you understand how they have separated the government debt from the people's debt, you'll know the Federal Reserve has more than $200 trillion in debt. But yet the debt for this country is only $26 trillion or $30 trillion now. Because when they give the people $2 trillion in a stimulus package that's $6.6 trillion, and they give the people $2 trillion of that, or $2 billion of that, that money, that billion, or those $2 trillion are applied to the people's debt. That's the debt of the United States of America, not the debt of the bank. The bank holds much greater debt over the people. We're the ones that give the Federal Reserve its power. It is a private corporation that we, the people...
He's letting you know again, we. He's just... What Derek is doing is, if you have ears to hear and eyes to see, you'll understand that when he says we, he's referring to himself and others that have complete control over how this entire system is going to cave, because it's the new currency. Like, yeah, it's going to be tough for us It's going to be tough if you don't want to take the test. It's going to be tough if you don't want to get the vaccine. It's just going to be, you're not going to participate in the economy. You can't go out to the movies. You can't hang out with the locusts that are rising from the pit the artificial way.
Allowed through the monkeys in Congress to give them the authority to write checks to the American people on a bank account that has zero in it. Literally inventing money. It's called Babylonian magic. This is ancient. It was around. It was being implemented by Babylon during the days of Jesus, which is why he was kicking the crap out of the money changers.
That's why this is happening now, because this slavery business is coming to an end. And then the ones that are trying to put us as slaves, they become the slaves.
In the church, in the temple, they were changing money from real value, silver, to now a currency that is worth jack. It's an invention of value, which was the coin that he said when they said, should we pay taxes to Caesar? Pay tribute. Tribute was the word. And he was like, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and render unto God what is God's. What is with her where I really like Doreen, though. I believe that she gets this more. She has such a hatred for Christians because of Jesus, but as I've tried to say to her, you need to forget the idea of who you think Jesus is, because Jesus is not who the church has told you he is. He is not what the Romans and the Hebrews collectively did through the deception of Paul.
He pointed and said he is not, as he pointed to himself.
Jesus is not who the church has told you he is. He is not what the Romans and the Hebrews collectively did.
You getting this?
Through the deception of Paul. People follow Paul. They don't follow Jesus.
Paul needs to explain this to you.
He is not what the Romans and the Hebrews collectively did.
So he's not
through the deception of Paul.
Jesus.
People follow Paul. They don't follow Jesus. Paul tells you that the government and the police officers and all of them, they all work for God and do the duty of God in Romans 13.
Which God?
Really? Which God? Exactly. They do work for God. The God of this place, the God of this world. If you've forgotten, if you don't know, this world is governed by a God, and it isn't our Father. That's why he offered Jesus.
So he's saying he isn't the Father. So far, I'm seeing that he's saying he's not Jesus, he's not the Father, but he is Paul.
Everything in this world and what it is, I'll give it all to you. Just bow down before me. This is the promise for everyone. This is the Faustian bargain. The people that have money bow to him. Do you understand what is happening? The delineation between the Father and the people and their God is happening right now. The line is drawn in the sand. The divide has happened. Wake up. Repent for real. Like really understand what you've done and what they've done. And I'm not saying understand it and be shameful. I'm saying understand it and recognize that it isn't your fault. It's not yours to bear. It's not yours to bear. It's already been bared. That's the whole point. Not yours to bear. It's not yours to bear.
And this is what it means when Christ, his flesh, seen no corruption.
It's already been bared. That's the whole point. You don't have to go through it again. You don't have to suffer, even though it's suffering. We will suffer. But the difference is suffering without knowing why is true suffering. Listen to me again. Suffering without knowing why you're suffering is true suffering. Suffering when you know why, that purpose allows the suffering to be tolerated. Ask any woman that understands bringing the beauty of their child into the world all of the pain they went through is worth it.